almost all our thoughts are repetitive unless we feed ourselves with new positivity and exercise willpower. So these two aspects about feeding ourselves with new positivity or maintaining positivity and exercising willpower is what I want to talk about today as two important factors to use what is given to us creatively. Because very often there's so much hard wiring, things that come from the factory about the way I look, my genes, the inclinations I have, some things that are connected to my nature. So I do want to believe that I have control of my life and I choose what I do, say, and how I live. But there are so many things that I don't control that do affect me. And I believe that coming to terms with that is very empowering and gives even more reason to interpret or perceive what happens to us in a positive way. So these two factors about external stimuli and choosing external stimuli as much as possible to just stay positive and get into a rhythm, because the rhythm is so important to churn what happens in yourself, to generate creative thought and creative action. So by creativity, I mean something that a connection that is not easy to recognize, but is so clear and so true, and when refined is so simple that it's very powerful. So these things happen only through getting the right thoughts at the right time, which happens, again, I'm repeating, in two ways: external stimuli that is new and positive, and exercising willpower, intent. So let me sort of talk about these two separately and start by talking about stimuli, and then I'll go into willpower and intent a little more. So the stimuli that happens to us, external stimuli, probably even here intent plays a role, but I want to talk about how we perceive external stimuli and choose what external stimuli affects us. So feeding ourselves with something positive and keeping engaged in hard work. I'm a big proponent of hard work. Lots of people say you have to work smart and not hard, but in my experience, hard work brings so many good things into life that there is no substitute to hard work. So being in a certain rhythm, simple things, but difficult to follow, things like routine, discipline, and getting into that rhythm can really catapult you to a place that is of high level creativity. So external stimuli, I like to listen to people that motivate me and inspire me and give me some direction. Usually people that are just slightly ahead of where I am, so that I'm not overwhelmed by information or advice from people that are so far ahead of me. People who are slightly ahead of me, or at least people who, even if they are so far ahead, can talk to me in a way that I can go step by step. I don't want to think of the 100-mile away problem or accolade, when I need to go just a few steps at a time, do it every day. And thinking out of the box happens only when you go slowly, open the box, understand what your boundaries are, and finally see what can be done to make yourself limitless and overcome limitations. And external stimuli play such an important role: the environment, the people you're with, and how you perceive situations. So that brings me to the second bit of what I want to talk about: willpower, exercising willpower. Now, so many people have said in the past that exercising willpower makes your willpower stronger, and it's like a muscle. The more you use your willpower, the stronger it becomes, and the easier it becomes to intentionally do things, intentionally take action, create thought, and go in a certain direction, and hopefully create the life that you want step by step. So, intent, there are schools of thought that talk about how you create your reality and you control everything. Now, I'd like to believe that, but in my experience, that's not completely true. So many things happen to me out of my control. And for me, coming to terms with that, for me, coming to realize that I'm part of something bigger, but I have a role to play that is meaningful enough for me to give my whole self to it, to intentionally wake up every day and thank my creator for this wonderful day and go about my business, live righteously as much as possible, because I have inclinations that I don't want to have. But coming to terms with that and exercising willpower helps me live in the framework that I have created for myself. And doing that more and more gets me into a rhythm to welcome thoughts from higher planes of consciousness, where, well, in some sense, probably in a philosophical sense, true success only happens when the doors of heaven open for you, and the keys to these doors are either given to you or they are opened for you. So it's not completely under my control what happens to the results of all the things I do, but I want to do it wholeheartedly. I want to give it my best. And even simple things like repetition, very underrated, but it seems so like obvious that if I repeat something, it will get ingrained in me, and I might get so influenced by that I become that, I believe that. And what I've done is I made a short video, audio clip, an MP3 recorder, and I played to myself that I'm getting stronger and stronger every moment. My hard work is giving results, and the work that I'm doing is part of something bigger that has meaning to me and my community, and making the world a better place. Now, there are other intricacies that are more specific that I don't want to get into right here, because I want you to customize it for yourself, but I want you to understand that being part of something bigger and recognizing that and recognizing your significance. So many people say that, no, I'm such a small speck in all the big universe. No, it's not like that. Now, when I see the universe from myself, I am wholly, solely, fully the universe. And I am part of something bigger that I do not perceive, intentionally creating a sort of a ripple in this placid ocean can give effects that are intentional, clear, and beautiful. So wrapping up, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about, how what is given to us can be used creatively. First is external stimuli, not just controlling external stimuli, but also interpreting what happens to you in a way that will benefit you. And the second bit is using intent, willpower, to create the life you want step by step, because Rome was not built in a day, and all your goals will not be achieved instantaneously. Even though a perception of feeling can, it's a process, and recognizing that there was a time when I thought that I want to earn enough money and retire. That's it. I don't want to do any work. Just be happy with my family, and that's it. But I've realized that vocation, having something to do, something meaningful to do, is so important. It's part of something that keeps me upbeat, and I don't take my sanity for granted. I'm very grateful that I can contribute in a meaningful and significant way to many lives, and I intend on continuing to do it. And I hope I get more opportunities to do so. Connect with me if you feel I can help you or your child. So the courses that Creative School has is the new one, Artificial Intelligence online class that I call Creative AI. Then there is the Creative Math that I've been doing for a bunch of years now, that I teach mostly teens and tweens, but kids also. And the digital SAT class, an expert in standardized testing. But this video is for you to get to know the man behind the brand Creative School, and hopefully sync with what I have to offer, and contact me if you feel I can contribute to your child's progress. The courses are mostly for teens and tweens and kids, but the artificial intelligence course I am offering to adults on a case-by-case basis, but Creative School in general teaches tweens and teens and kids again on a case-by-case basis. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day, night. God bless.